I guess I should be honored that the former president of the United States took time out of his busy schedule Googling Ivanka in bikini to rant about me, but...
I know nothing about QAnon. I know nothing about it. I know nothing about the indictment.
I know nothing about WikiLeaks.
I have no idea who these women are.
But he suffered from TDS, commonly known as Trump derangement syndrome. Well, now that is false. There's only one person who suffered from Trump derangement syndrome. His name is Donald Trump.
Trump's latest meltdown wasn't over election results or legal troubles. It was about a coin smaller than his hands. That's right, folks. While the Chiefs were scoring touchdowns, Trump was busy ranting about pennies. But wait, it gets better. Kimmel didn't just report on Trump's penny panic. He turned it into comedy gold. From old McDonald's farm animals to Harrison Ford's Jeep commercial, this video's got more twists than a pretzel factory on steroids. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Did you catch the real showstopper at the Super Bowl? Spoiler alert, it wasn't the game. Jimmy Kimmel stepped up to the plate and knocked it out of the park with his monologue, making the actual football look like a snooze fest.
I mean, how does this happen? Last week, he had the whole legal system rigged. Now, he's powerless.
And it's bull. It's bull. The wind is bull. I think it's all bull. I got indicted more than him. On bull, too.
Kimmel kicked things off by taking a swing at the yawn-inducing game. He compared the excitement level to watching paint dry, but let's be real, at least paint changes color. This game was about as thrilling as a beige wall in a waiting room. But our boy Jimmy wasn't done yet. He went on to list all the animals he chowed down on during the game, probably making old McDonald shed a tear or two. We're talking burgers, wings, and enough bacon to make a pig squeal from the afterlife. It was like Noah's Ark, but deep-fried and served with ranch. Then came the Tom Brady zinger. Kimmel poked fun at Brady's fake enthusiasm for Mahomes' loss. It was about as believable as Trump's hair color. You could almost hear Brady thinking, "At least I'm not out there getting sacked anymore."
If you were president, would you declassify, you can answer yes or no to these, would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah. The witnesses that were on our side, they were literally crucified by this man who looks like an angel, but he's really a devil. He looks so nice and soft.
As Kimmel built up the anticipation, you could feel the energy in the room shift. It was like he was holding a comedy grenade, and we were all waiting for him to pull the pin. And boy, did he deliver. The payoff? Kimmel's jokes were more exciting than the actual game. It was like comparing a roller coaster to a merry-go-round. One leaves you breathless and exhilarated, the other just goes round and round until you're dizzy and questioning your life choices. But Kimmel wasn't done yet. He smoothly transitioned to the next topic with a classic, "Speaking of losers." It was like watching a master chef sprinkle salt on a perfectly cooked steak, just enough to make you hungry for more. Speaking of losers, Trump's latest crusade is so small, you might need a magnifying glass to see it. What's got the orange menace all worked up this time? Brace yourselves, folks. It's the penny. Yes, you heard that right.
The MAGA nuts and Sweaty Teddy doing this. Trump's own running mate, J.D. Vance, is the main source of this nonsense. He's been talking about this in speeches. He's been posting about this.
Nobody knows more about trade than me.
Nobody knows the system better than me.
Nobody knows the banking industry better than me. Nobody knows more about environmental impact statements.
While the rest of us are worrying about things like the economy, healthcare, and whether we'll ever see the bottom of our Netflix queue, Grumpy Trumpy is waging war on Abraham Lincoln's face. Our ex-president, in all his infinite wisdom, tweeted, "For far too long, the U.S. has minted pennies, which literally cost us more than 2 cents. This is so wasteful. I've instructed my Secretary of the U.S. Treasury to stop producing new pennies. Well, well, well. Look who's suddenly concerned about government waste. It's like watching a bull in a china shop complain about broken dishes. Now, to be fair, Trump's not entirely wrong. It actually costs about 2.1 cents to make a penny. But let's be real. This is like worrying about a leaky faucet while your house is on fire. It's classic Trump, ignoring the forest to complain about a single acorn.
I have a wonderful wife who has to listen to this stuff all the time. They do that for this reason.
And you know what? If I'd just been found guilty of covering up a hush money payment to a porn star, I wouldn't be in a rush to get home to my wife either.
But why is Donnie really so obsessed with getting rid of pennies? Jimmy Kimmel has a theory, and it's as hilarious as it is plausible. According to Kimmel, Trump's vendetta against the penny stems from his desire to be the only president with a bronzed image. Apparently, old Abe being more bronzed than Trump is keeping him up at night. Poor guy can't even win a tanning contest with a guy who's been dead for over 150 years. But wait, there's more. Kimmel didn't stop there. He went on to suggest that without pennies, Trump wouldn't be able to tip his housekeeper. Ouch! That's gotta sting more than a spray tan mishap. It's like Kimmel's throwing pennies at a glass house, and every single one is hitting its mark. You've got to wonder, though, with all the pressing issues facing our country, is this really what Trump thinks deserves his attention? It's like he's playing a game of presidential priorities and accidentally grabbed the cards from Monopoly Jr. While Rome burns, Nero fiddles, and Trump counts pennies.
Hillary Clinton, oh, she's crooked, folks. She's crooked as a $3 bill.
You should lock her up, I'll tell you.
Lock her up is right.
For what she's done, they should lock her up.
Corruption surrounded by corrupt judges and corrupt politicians. Other than that, there's no pressure.
Kimmel's Super Bowl roast wasn't just about laughs, folks. It was like holding up a funhouse mirror to our wacky political world. But instead of distorted reflections, we saw the real deal. And boy, is it a doozy. As one smart cookie put it, comedy can be a powerful means of critique, allowing people to process the chaos of politics through humor. And ain't that the truth? Our boy Jimmy didn't just deliver punchlines. He served up a steaming plate of reality check with a side of giggles. It's like he's saying, "Hey America, wake up and smell the crazy."
All he does is make fun of. He makes fun of disabled journalists. He calls our veterans prisoners of war, even losers. He insults his opponents, his friends.
I said, and they got me. I said, I want to wear it on stage. When they said I looked thinner.
But here's the kicker. While we're chuckling, we're also learning. Sneaky, right? And speaking of sneaky, word on the street is that old Trumpy's trying to slap his mug on the penny before it goes bye-bye. Can you imagine Grumpy Trumpy's face on our copper coins? Talk about small change.